Ladies and gentlemen, it is Go Battle Day. At least it is for me. If it's November 2nd for you, it is also Go Battle Day, which means you're going to get 20 sets. Technically, if you saved one, you could get 21 sets, but 100 battles basically. And it's going to take you a really long time to get through those battles, so I wanted to go over a really fast team. It's going to be triple shadow so that you can kind of burn through your sets as fast as possible today. Try to get the most amount of Stardust that you can get. I know if you're like me, I've used like 3.5 million Stardust this season. And the most I've ever had in the last like 3 or 4 years is where I was at before the start of the season, which was around 4 million. Now I'm basically in the couple 100,000 range. And I know I need the Stardust, so go ahead and use this team. It'll get you Stardust so fast. It's going to be a team from Yusai, and we'll put his Twitch channel in the description below. Definitely check him out. He streams basically every other day on Twitch, and he streams 10 battles every other day. So 10 sets, not 10 battles, 50 battles, basically. Oh my gosh. Someone just subscribed to the channel while I'm recording this. Andy Barrowton. Huge shout out to you. And if you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe button. I haven't heard that sound in the middle of a recording in a long time. But yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. But first, well, I already said it. So here are the battles. We're going to be going over 3 sets. But again, these sets are so quick. You're going to see how fast they go through just because of this team. And we have showcased this team before. So if you need even more, well, check out Yusai's channel as well, since there are 21 sets of this. And it's going to be Shadow Alolan Ninetales with Powder Snow in the front, Psyshock as its secondary move, and then its primary move, Weather Ball, Ice, with Shadow Magnezone in the back, normal moveset, and then Shadow Whiscash in the very back, well, the safe swap, and it has Blizzard on it if you want to catch people out. All right, facing off against Dusk Noir here in the beginning. He went up about 850 points last I saw, but he had 2 more sets to play, so I'm just going to say straight up 900 points with these battles. Definitely, yeah. I mean, this thing takes a lot of damage. You can definitely get to your moves a lot faster. It takes 5 Powder Snows to get to the first Weather Ball and then 4 to get to the second. They do end up shielding, so now it's a question of do we want to use our second shield, but we definitely don't, so we come into the Whiscash. Whiscash, even the Shadow form, is able to take a lot of damage, so going to get a little bit of farm there. Malamar is going to outpace you to your Blizzard, so you don't want to get too greedy and go for that Blizzard because they can definitely hit you with like the Foul Play or even the Superpower, and it would KO you from this range. So we're going to come in Magnezone. Probably just going to shield and farm this all the way down if I was to guess. If we can get that. If we can't, we'll go 2 more. And then if that doesn't KO, 2 will KO. So we're good. We could have thrown the Mirror Shot if it wasn't going to make it. But they come back in with Dusk Noir, but it didn't have enough HP for even 1 Volt Switch there. And then we have back-to-back. We have back-to-back Wild Charge. Probably could have just gone for that. Oh, I guess since it is Poison type, we're going to go for the Mirror Shots. Or not Poison. Since it is Fairy type, we're going to go for the 2 Mirror Shots. Since it's going to be super effective anyways, have the chance to drop to debuff the attack there. They end up throwing a Play Rough, and then we get to that 3rd Wild. I keep wanting to say Wild Charge. Mirror Shot, and it KOs. Boom. Interesting team. All right, Greninja in the lead. I've actually started to see a lot more Greninja lately. Our moveset is not great against Greninja, I'll give you that much, but they end up going for a Night Slash. Weird bait, I guess, because they thought since we'd be so scared of the Hydro Cannon that we'd basically get KO'd. No way. We call another Night Slash. Nice. We have a ton of energy at this point. Maybe they're not running Hydro Cannon. They don't have the Community Day move. I doubt it, though. Although I will say I actually did miss Greninja Community Day, and I did have to use an Elite TM to make the Greninja I have for Great League. Did I push it up to Ultra League? I forget. Maybe I used 2 Elite TMs. It's even worse, to be honest. Actually, I already know I'm going to miss the Annihilate Community Day. Probably have to shield this. Because I'm going to go camping. And I just have to remember to turn my phone on. I usually don't I usually don't ever have the need to use my phone while we go camping. So I just have to remember to log in, evolve some Shadow Annihilates. That's going to be next week, by the way. So This comes out tomorrow, so it's 8 days from the day this video was released, which is Go Battle Day. So I think it's on the 10th. Is that true? No, it's on the 11th. It's on the 11th. All right, back to this game. Grimer into the Shadow Whiscash. Obviously, we have a super effective move against the Grimer. They do have Mud Slap, which, again, has been buffed this season, so that's why you're starting to see a little bit more Grimer usage. We did first start seeing it in the Halloween Cup, but seeing it overall now. Probably can just use our shield and go for... Wait, can we make it to the Blizzard, actually? No, we're just going to go for the Mud Bomb. No, nice. I was hoping, but yeah, GG's to this guy. I guess it was CMP anyways, but we're gonna actually get the Volt Switch down on a on a ground type here. Double resisted, by the way. I wouldn't have been surprised if they actually survived that somehow with a Shadow Magnezone Volt Switch. All right, Driftbloom in the lead. Right now they're throwing a bunch of fast attacks into us. Astonish buff this season to do a lot more damage. So really fast attack oriented is this Driftbloom, and they can go for the bait on the Icy Wind, or they can go for the Shadow Ball. Notice we're saving our shields for the possible Magnezone. I'm just never going to get that right, am I? But yeah, we're going to end up either taking both shields or winning switch. So now we have both shields. We come in with the Magnezone. We do have to be scared of a possible Shadow Ball. They did go for the Icy Wind before, so they're probably going to go for the Icy Wind again. They end up coming in with Machamp. We go for the Wild Charge. Lose CMP, which does make sense. But at least we got rid of the Machamp. I don't know, though. We're all in on the Whiscash, but they're going to have to show us the third, unless they come in with... Oh, we do a Blizzard. Oh my god, we have Blizzard, please. Well, we're going to make it to a Blizzard no matter what. That's for sure, because they don't KO us in one move. We're going to go for good timing here. Probably go for one more Mud Shot and then go for the Blizzard. Again, if you have a 2-turn move versus a 3-turn move, you can do one 2-turn move before they do their 3-turn move, which means that they can't catch or anything like that. Although their switch timer's not up, it's still good efficiency for energy management. Does Mud Bomb KO from here? It's double resisted, but we're Shadow. Oh, it did not actually KO, but a Mud Shot did take it out. And the Drifloom's going to get taken out by a Volt Switch. All right, a Azumarill here in the front. They end up switching into catching you here in the middle of the video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't. Just take a second, hit it. All right, back to the video. Do Alolan Sandslash, the Shadow one? Yes. So they're going to get KO'd basically by one Mud Bomb and all of these Mud Shots combined. But yeah, it's a question of... Oh, it actually is Shadow Claw. Interesting. Most of these nowadays are running Powder Snow. But the Shadow Claw, if you do want to run Alolan Sandslash with Shadow Claw, it will take a charged Elite TM, a fast move Elite TM. I don't know what it's called, actually. It's Fast TM. Elite Fast TM. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, they come back in with the Azumarill. We're not going to make it to this Mud Bomb because we're going to get KO'd by the bubble there. But we are going to be able to get into this Magnezone matchup. As long as they're not throwing Hydro Pump, we do resist both the moves Play Rough and Ice Beam. They do end up throwing the Play Rough. We're going to get a little bit more farm. Looks like we're going for the bait. I guess since they're not switching out of this matchup, we think that they possibly have like a Mana Buzz in the back. But they end up shielding anyways. Now, I do like the shield here. If it is Mana Buzz, we're good, because we do still have the Alolan Ninetales. Going for the full farm? No. Oh my god, I thought it was Bastion for a second from the rock typing, but it's Aurora. So we do go for the Psyshock. It is neutral, whereas the Weather Ball is resisted. Their ice type... Does rock resist ice? I actually don't know that. Maybe that makes me sound terrible, but not a typing you see too much. I know rock is super effective against ice. I think there is actually no back and forth on that one. They go for the Meteor Beam, but we have so much energy. We're going to go for the Mirror Shot. Anything would have KO'd at this point. They do have a shield, but okay, we have double Mirror Shot. We still could have gone Mirror Shot and Wild Charge. We just had a ton of energy. Obviously, we went up to 100, so we could have actually just gone back-to-back Wild Charge as well. Tough lead for us because they are going to hit us for super effective. We are living it though, so we are going to make it to 2 weather balls. Is that enough to KO this? It is the shadow version, so I would think we're going to do a lot of damage in the meantime. But notice one thing that's happening here. We're not really using a shield on the front matchup, even in the bad matchups, so we're just trying to gain some advantages for the back. We're going to come in Whiscash here. Obviously, this thing has the ability to throw Drill Run, which is going to be super effective against Magnezone, so we don't want that. And yeah, we'll just be able to eat up all this energy anyways here on the Whiscash. This should KO. Actually, it's close, right? They actually shield. We're going to go for the shield as well. It's very possible that they have like Clodsire in the back. I don't know why they would be shielding the Drifblim in this situation unless they're very weak to the Whiscash. So I'm guessing there's a Clodsire somewhere in the back. It might not be their only thing because they do end up having a Drifblim. It's a Marowak. Okay. This is double resisted, but it's still going to do the most amount of damage and get us out of this matchup as fast as possible. It is the non-Shadow Marowak. This is where Scald, I think, would really come in handy. Although... but we wouldn't have enough damage to take it. It's going to be too much fast move pressure here because I don't think this is going to KO anyways. They're running actually the non-Shadow, which to be fair, I would not run the non-Shadow Marowak. But it's working for them here. If you don't have it, you got to use something, right? So, yeah. Going to get taken out here by the Marowak. All right. Mantine here in the front. It's a fine matchup. Now, I was watching his stream during this time, and he was saying he thinks there's going to be a Bastion in the back. So, but to be fair, Magnezone can also handle the Bastion as well. Ends up getting extra Mudshot through here, basically, gaining a fast attack in the process because we did end up getting a Powder Snow through and a Mudshot when they only got the Dragon Tail through. So really good for us, and this matchup's really dominant for us as well. Only thing is, the Mantine matchup is not dominant for us. We do have the chance to get to Blizzard here, but Aerial Ace and then a fast attack will probably end up KOing us. Maybe 2 fast attacks. If it's 2, we get there. 1, not enough. We do have Magnezone for this matchup, obviously. They do end up coming in with Scrafty, which is an interesting matchup as well, because while we do have a Fairy type against a Fighting and Dark type, which is extremely dominant, we don't have a Fairy type move. We don't have that Charm. We don't have a Charge attack, which I think is Play Rough. But we also wouldn't want to be throwing that because it would just take too much energy. If they end up shielding, we'd be totally screwed. So end up going for these Weather Balls, just to try to do a little bit of damage, and then at least if we go into the Magnezone matchup, we'll have the shield for another of the power-up punches, and then at least hoping 2 fast attacks to KO this Scrafty, to be honest, because if it's going to take 2 more after this, we're actually going to end up taking a ton of damage, and we are going to end up taking a ton of damage. Now, we do actually live on 1 HP, so we get the Wild Charge off against the Mantine, which is going to one-shot it because it is double super effective. Electric is super effective against water and super effective against flying, so... All right, Pangoro, technically you live a close combat here, and they can throw it on CMP. I also was watching during this game, so I do know that they ended up baiting, and it's a tough bait here because we're going to get a move off. Now, they don't have to shield this. Technically, they would live, but they'd be in a really close situation of getting farmed down here. They can have a close combat here as well. They went to 9, so 4 for the first... Night Slash and then 5 for the close combat. Actually ended up coming in with Magnezone because their health was, their defense was reduced 2 times. So we're hoping to get the farm down here instead of taking a ton of damage onto the Whiscash and not being able to farm it down. So an interesting trade-off here and pretty good in the end. We can go for a Wild Charge here, and we have back-to-back, so we can definitely go for back-to-back Wild Charge if we want. Or we can go 1 Wild Charge and then swap into Whiscash to get their last mon out in case it's very weak to... Magnezone, and we don't want to lose that last remaining health on the Magnezone. Okay, they end up staying in here. Makes me think they have something like... Again, I think Clodsire, if I'm being honest. Ends up being Cresselia. They definitely should have just switched into this, I guess, right away. Aurorus. So this is the second time we're seeing the Aurorus here. We're going to go for the Psyshock. Again, it's neutral, whereas the Weather Ball Ice is resisted by the Ice typing there. End up trying to catch a move here on the Whiscash, which is fine. It's actually fine on both sides, honestly. If they have an answer, they can also switch into that. I think I would have gone for a little bit more farm. We have the chance for a Blizzard, though. Do we think they're going to shield? I actually did not watch this game. Oh, no. How did they shield it? Oh, no. Okay, we're going to get one shot by the energy ball. Oh, they go for Aerial Ace. Back-to-back Aerial Ace. This is losing way too much energy. Unless there are some crazy Aerial Ace acrobatics moveset, which would be insane. That would be pretty dumb, I think. Now, we could come in with either, to be fair, because we do resist everything Jump Left does on the Magnezones, which means we technically wouldn't have to shield, but I guess they're thinking Energy Ball coming through here would be actually a decent amount of damage. Wild Charge from here probably KOs. I do know that an Aura Wheel from here would almost KO as well. I believe they're basically the same. This is Aerial Ace, no? Oh, it is an Energy Ball. Ooh, we do end up taking a lot of damage. We do have still a lot of energy on the Magnezone, and luckily we do have interesting try to catch there. We would have thrown the Psyshock into the... wait a minute. They don't have any shields, so they're actually... The Toxapex is just going to get blown up by our Magnezone. It doesn't matter how much energy they did try to gain in the previous matchup. Yeah, I would just go Wild Charge, and that's GG. All right, Triplin, we saw this earlier. Technically, we can throw before them at any point. They end up coming in with a Dunsparce. I think I said this in one of the very early videos of the season, but any of the Mud Boys into Dunsparce is an auto switch. You just want to be in that matchup because they don't do as much as you do to them, and you outbulk them as well, so it's just crazy. And you also resist the rollout, which obviously this season got a buff, so it does a little bit... a decent amount more damage than it used to. Actually, a lot more damage than it used to be honest. Again, we're trying to preserve shields as much as possible. I don't know if this will KO, but I also don't know that we'll actually end up... Oh, they actually just take another one here. I don't know that we'll end up shielding this, to be honest. I wouldn't at this point. I think actually let it go, so we gained everything out of it. Probably still want to come in with... Really? I think I would have came in with A-Slash. I'm just scared of all this damage coming through with the Astonish. Actually does it, like I said, it got buffed this season, so it's going to end up doing a lot of damage here. We end up going for the bait here. They're probably going to shield anyways, and we need to get out of this matchup. So really good call, I guess, on what the backline was going to be. Also, they just got to cross chop, so going before they got there, really good for us. The question is, do we want to shield here? Probably is worth it because at the end of the day we have an ice move against the flyer type. We don't necessarily need to go all out on the Magnezone like we would in some other matchups, so we're fine just splitting it up and forcing them to basically have to throw 2 charge moves to win this game, and there's no way they're getting to 2 charge moves. Azumarill lead. Again, this favors the Azumarill by a pretty decent margin. Technically outpays, so at least you're going to get some damage through. You're getting chip damage through no matter what, and then maybe you can farm down with the Magnezone after you get KO'd here on the Ninetales. Again, probably I assume don't want to use a shield, but you know how you can avoid using shields if you catch. So we end up catching on the Whiscash, which again is bulkier. Obviously, we'll never make it to this Blizzard, so we do end up throwing the Mud Bomb here, which is neutral against the Venusaur. A weird shield. We can end up shielding here on our side. We do have a lot of energy to try to throw back at this. We end up throwing the Weather Ball. This will KO. Are they Shadow, actually? Okay, they KO'd anyways. Bastion's tough. Okay, the reason is because you really want to be throwing the Wild Charges into this Bastion, but at this point, it's going to be hard to do that. I guess you go up to double here and then just throw... Okay, to be efficient, you want to throw 2 Volt Switches, but I don't know if we have the time to do that. They do actually end up switching into the Azumarill. We go for the bait. I think we're just trying to get to the clock, if I'm being honest. We really want to be at that clock. I don't think there's a way we win this game. Man, if we had made it to that clock, though, it would have been so good. Well, what's the Bastion's health at? No, it's like 70%, right? Because we never actually threw a Wild Charge into it. We do get the farm down here. I just don't think it's at 70%. Oh, it's actually not at 70%. It's at like 35, 40%. But we'd have to throw so many Weather Balls into it. So we need 3 more Weather Balls, and they have a shield. So we need 4 Weather Balls to get through this. GG. Bastion's tough here. Luckily, there's not a lot of Bastion nowadays. Okay, I think that was a Levani in the front. Levany? I don't know how to pronounce it. And then the Milk Tank switch. Again, this is the same thing with the Dunsparce that I said at the beginning of the season. If they're going to switch into any of these basically rollout users, Licky Licky's in there as well as Milk Tank, you can just go into a Mudboy and basically hard counter it. They have access to Ice Beam and Body Slam for his charge moves. Both are neutral against you. I guess technically it also has Thunderbolt, but I think most people are running Ice Beam for the possible. Are they? Actually, I feel like people are running Thunderbolt for the Azumarill, right? Not too sure, to be honest. Not a Pokemon I've used. I'm not even sure I have a Milk Tank now that I think about it. For Great League? I don't think I have one built. I definitely don't have one for any other league either, but I'm just saying I don't have one built for PvP. That's probably what I should have said. One thing that's interesting is we have used both of our shields. We do end up throwing the Blizzard here. Odds are they won't shield this, assuming they assume we have Scald. And we'll at least get into this last matchup, seeing what it is. Ends up being a Dunsparce, which is okay for us. We'll at least be able to get a Mud Slap into this, or a Mud Bomb into this, which is nice. But it is super effective against Ninetales and Magnezone. I feel like this is going to be tough. We got one shield. Okay, maybe our best chance is to come in with Magnezone and then swap into Whiscash. But we also have that move on Whiscash still. Oh my god. Do we die to a drill run? I feel like we don't. Oh no, we do. Okay, we have double Mud Bomb on a Shadow Whiscash. Please, please. Does it KO from here? We lose CMP? Is that normal? Do we normally lose CMP there? Alright, well, that's tough. I didn't know that, to be honest. So, alright. Well, this team's really quick to get your games done, so I just wanted to give you a really fast team to use on Go Battle Day, just to try to get you the most amount of dust you can get. This is really the best time to really be gaining dust. You can, even if you don't use a Battle Pass or whatever it's called, the Raid Pass, you still get a lot of dust out of these games, just even on the first tick. If you do use the Battle Pass, you gain so much. I feel like after your 100 battles, you basically gain like 700k dust if you use a Battle Pass for all 100 and get a decent amount of wins in there. Anyways, alright, this was a long video. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't, definitely hit the subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Hopefully you all have a great Go Battle Day. And he streams on Twitch. You can check the description below, and he will, and it'll be a link of his Twitch. I'm going to restart. This is a terrible intro. Hey, thank you for watching the video, and if you want to continue to support me, definitely click that subscribe button. You'll see any content coming out, and if you want another video on this same league for some more tips and tricks to other teams, check that video out right there, and I'll see you in the next one.